The map pictured on the left shows the area of eastern Pennsylvania known as the West Ward. The picture on the right shows the supermarkets located within this area. What's wrong with this picture? There is only one supermarket located in the West Ward, placing most of its residents outside of easy access to local, healthy, affordable food options. Thus, the West Ward fits the definition of a food desert. What is a food desert, you ask? According to the USDA, it is a low-income census tract where a substantial number or percentage of residents have low access to a supermarket or large grocery store. Food deserts are a food access issue confronting communities around America and the world. This site aims to provide more information concerning this food access injustice in Easton's West Ward. While the West Ward itself classifies as a food desert, here's the catch. Easton as a whole does not. In terms of food access, Easton is like two different cities, the downtown and College Hill versus the South Side and the West Ward. The irony is that people who don't live in Easton drive in to buy local organic foods unaffordable to the city's residents, while a mom with 2 kids in tow has to take a bus out of the city to do her shopping at a box grocery store.
In the West Ward, there are more residents who have some high school than residents who have a bachelor's degree, and 1,164 people are not educated higher than 8th grade. This may lead West Ward residents to be more likely to buy unhealthy food. Furthermore, residents may become content with these options and not engage with the community to obtain healthier foods. Median household income is much lower in the West Ward than in PA or the US. This causes a problem with food access because fresh, local, organic food is more expensive, and households with less expendable income may not be able to afford healthier food. The darker areas of this map indicate a higher median income. This illustrates the previously stated income gap. As you can see, the West Ward is the area with the 2 lowest income tracts. The slightly darker area of the West Ward has a median income of $33,453, and the lighter has a median income of $25,645. The purple shows tracts in which more than 100 households have no access to a vehicle and are more than half a mile away from the nearest supermarket. As you can see, the West Ward is completely encompassed as a transportation gap. This just adds to the injustices faced by the community. In the first map, the green and orange indicate at least 500 people, or 33% of the population, lives further than 1 or 1/2 mile from the nearest supermarket, respectively. The second map indicates supermarkets with an S and unserved people in poverty with red and green dots. Both maps also indicate that there are no supermarkets within 1 mile of the West Ward.
As the transportation gap, income gap, and education gap indicate, the West Ward is a classic example of distributive injustice in which the delineation between who has access to affordable, local, healthy food and who does not often is divided out among the haves and the have-nots. These gaps augment the food access situation by serving as further obstacles between the residents of the West Ward and improving their healthy food options. These gaps also create a variety of procedural justice obstacles for the West Ward. For example, the education and transportation gaps prevent residents from participating in deliberative opportunities, such as serving on the school board, city council, or other boards. Furthermore, they face limited access to pluralist solutions, as their opinions in city planning are often not elicited by these governing bodies. The food desert issue in the West Ward rests on a conflict of recognitional justice. Attention on further gentrifying Easton's downtown area with enticing restaurants and local produce options continues. While efforts to provide a standard level of food access within the West Ward are meager at best, the City of Easton needs to recognize the West Ward as its own population facing its own food access crisis.
The Food Trust is a national organization that's sponsored by Buy Fresh, Buy Local. Together, they are heading the initiative to get fresh food into local corner stores, which are the primary source of groceries for those in the West Ward. The Callan Foundation works with local schools to include gardens that provide fresh produce for local school lunches. Some Lafayette initiatives include the LAF Tech Clinic's past projects that donated fresh food from La Farm to residents of the West Ward. The Veggie Stand has become a staple in the community since then. The Tech Clinic has also headed a bucket garden program at local elementary schools that gives kids a fun way to be involved in growing their own tomatoes.
There are a number of local organizations that could be combating food access. The Easton Environmental Advisory Committee could be tasked with collecting data, but they would have to be approached with the issue. So far, the Easton City Council has focused more on restaurants in downtown Easton and less on food access in the West Ward. State representatives have been hesitant to provide funding to fight food inaccess because of lack of information. There are numerous individuals working to improve food access within Easton. Professor Cohen has worked with La Farm and other local farmers to provide fresh produce to the residents of the West Ward through the Veggie Stand program. This program involves using a donation-based model to allow residents to regularly pick up fresh food from the stand's location. The goal is to build a community around healthy, fresh food. Sarah Edmonds is the director of La Farm and is on the board of Buy Fresh Buy Local. La Farm is concerned with creating a sustainable food resource for Lafayette College and potentially other organizations in Easton. They do, however, donate extra crops to a local food bank and a portion of their profits to combat food inaccess. Edmonds also personally works with Buy Fresh Buy Local to advise them on the workings of sustainable local agriculture. Allison Zapp is the outreach coordinator for Buy Fresh Buy Local. Their programs include the Double SNAP program and the Healthy Corner Store initiative. Zapp is also the newly appointed chair of the Easton Food Policy Council. The council aims to increase coordination between food access organizations and collect data on their initiatives. Her end goal is to connect urban and local farms with the Healthy Corner Store initiative. A recurring problem for these individuals is building community. If the aim is to build a culture around healthy food consumption, it's easier to do as a friend rather than a stranger. It seems the success of these initiatives is heavily dependent upon gaining both the respect and trust of local residents. Success is also reliant upon getting the word out. It's proven difficult to both market and advertise fresh food initiatives in the West Ward. Judging from the issues that have presented themselves, future research could be centered upon a few ideas. Generally speaking, it would be helpful to research who fresh food initiatives should be marketed to, adults or kids. Tied to this, how can education play a role in food access within the West Ward? Will better education in reference to food injustice and health improve the success of food initiatives? The fresh produce initiatives in the West Ward need a way to measure success and collect data. This data could later be used to determine what works, what doesn't work, and incentivize investment by local, state, and federal government. There is also a need for a system to both market and advertise fresh food initiatives to the residents of the West Ward. Determining a way to accomplish this would bolster the prospects for every food access program in Easton.